This is the conclusion of a novel in which the narrator is unreliable and who learns along with the reader what the truth is about the characters. The narrator has been half describing, half witnessing, and half inventing. And what happens ultimately in the book is that the characters are bigger than the novel, bigger than the narrator, and the narrator learns what the limits of the imagination are, and then realizes how wrong she's been.
Okay. Hi. So it's been so nice out, so I've been walking home from work every day, and whenever you go through Central Park, it's hard not to stop and listen to some jazz, and it's made me think a lot about jazz by Toni Morrison, because she was able to put that rhythm and that style of music into writing, and I was just so inspired in my writing to be able to find a melody like that and that rhythm. Like, I never thought like words could be felt or like read like that. And so I just thought I should do a little reread. I actually knew nothing about this book. I had just finished Beloved, and a video came across my feed, and it was her reading the last like 2 pages of this book. And if you know, Toni Morrison's voice is like honey, and I don't think I've ever listened to something more beautiful than her reading that last page. And I mean, I had to buy the book and start from the beginning and just understand how she was. I just wanted more of that writing. It's just so beautiful, and I mean, it's so inspiring. Like, I want to be able to write like that. And this is where it kind of follows the same question that Beloved had, but instead of the relationship being like a mother-daughter, it's more of like a romantic love story. And it is inspired by a young girl in Harlem in like the 1920s, and her like ex-lover shot her, but she refused to tell anyone who shot her. And she ended up bleeding to death and like protecting him. And Toni Morrison kind of wanted to give that girl another life in this story. And she thought it was like really romantic, but also like really silly and young. And it follows that young girl, but also the lover and his wife relationship. I think he's like 40 and she's 20 or something like that, or 18. I found this, like, someone did a whole analysis that is much more qualified to speak on this than I am. I'll link the article below if you want to do a deep dive on it too. But basically he goes through the stylistic choices she makes in her writing so that it has that rhythm. And the 5 things I think are it's very like improvisational, like in jazz, like no one can anticipate what's going to happen. And it has that with the characters just going off on just speaking on different things for a bit, and it follows a bunch of different characters, and no voice is more dominant than the other, and so it's like them speaking and them speaking. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, but like literary. And it has that romanticism that jazz has. And I forget the others. It's something about like a melody. I think I'll read what she says about the melody because I like to practice that in my own writing. When I listen to jazz, or as anyone does to a jazz performance, whatever the musicians are playing, you hear the melody and then it goes away, or seems to, or they play against it or around it or take it off to another zone. Then sometimes it comes back and you can recognize it. I wanted that narrative line or melody to be established immediately in the first pages, and when the question becomes whether the narrator was right in his or her expectations of exactly what the story was, that is the melody being taken away. And I thought, might as well read you the melody, which is the first page, I think. And yeah. And then we'll carry on. I know that woman. She used to live with a flock of birds on Lenox Avenue. Know her husband, too. He fell for an 18-year-old girl with one of those deep-down spooky loves that made him so sad and happy, he shot her just to keep that feeling going. When the woman, her name is Violet, went to the funeral to see the girl and to cut her dead face, they threw her to the floor and out of the church. She ran, then, through all that snow, and when she got back to her apartment, she took the birds from their cages, set them out the windows to freeze or fly, including the parrot that said, "I love you." And that's jazz. Toni will do the rest of the reading.
You think? I think that I've waited my whole life stand here and have this background.
Okay. Give your art summary of what this sculpture is.
It's hard to imagine. I mean, why is he the only one conflicted of eating them? Why aren't they conflicted of eating each other?
The audience doesn't even know what you're talking about. Explain it.
Oh.
Come.
He's tormented because he's locked in a tower with his sons and grandchildren, child. And he either is going to die of starvation or he's going to eat them.
Would you eat them?
I hope not. Yikes.
What is this one about?
He's in severe anguished pain. Climaxing in death.
bound and joined by carnival dolls and the steamers that sailed from ports they never saw. That is what is beneath their undercover whispers. But there is another part, not so secret. The part that touches fingers when one passes the cup and saucer to the other. The part that closes her neckline, snap, while waiting for the trolley, and brushes lint from his blue serge suit when they come out of the movie house and into the sunlight. I envy them, their public love. I myself have only known it in secret, shared it in secret, and longed to show it. To be able to say out loud what they have no need to say at all. That I have loved only you, surrendered my whole self, reckless to you and nobody else. That I want you to love me back and show it to me. That I love the way you hold me, how close you let me be to you. I like your fingers on and on, lifting, turning. And I've watched your face for a long time now. And missed your eyes when you went away from me. Talking to you and hearing you answer, that's the kick. But I can't say that out loud. I can't tell anyone that I've been waiting for this all my life. And that being chosen to wait is the reason I can. If I were able, I'd say it. Say, make me, remake me. You're free to do it, and I'm free to let you. Because look where your hands are.